Here are some methods with oil pastel that you can use in enhancing your monotypes. Monotype is a one-of-a-kind print that's made in a variety of ways. My example here is on a piece of glass. I've used some oil paints and some oil painting medium to thin out the oil paints and spread the painting onto the glass. So I've painted a blue flower on the glass, thinned out with oil painting medium, and use printmaking paper pressed onto the glass. Now there are printing presses that can be used. You can use your hands. Some people use the back of a spoon to rub. And what it's doing is transferring the paint onto the piece of paper. So you have a one-of-a-kind picture. Now I've taken a similar monoprint here and I want to show you how to use the oil pastel to enhance it. I like what I have, but there are places that need a little bit of definition. So I've chosen some similar oil pastels to bring out the details of the flower. For example, here there's a nice strong contrast between the flower and the background, but not as much on this side. So I may use some darker tones to go around the flower. And I want it to be similar to the style of the monoprint so I can blend it in a little. If I've just pressed it, the oil paint may still be wet and will blend very nicely. Now that green looks good, but I see some of the indigo tones, so I'm going to use some deeper blues. Looking for areas where I want to make my darks a little darker and deeper and my lights a little brighter. So here, if I focus first on my main subject and making it the star of the painting, I'll emphasize some of the deep shadowy areas around it without changing the character of the print too much, just to make it a little bit more intense, a little bit more organized, a little bit more in focus. So I've brought in some of the darks. I'll come with my white, maybe add a little bit of emphasis on the edges of the petals. I don't have to draw every single petal to make it interesting. Monoprints tend to be a little rough, and so I just want to add a little more intensity where I think it's appropriate. You can do the same with the leaves of the flower, adding a little more glow of yellow where you think you need it. And again, building in some of the background if you think you need it, or adding something to the leaves. Oil paints and oil pastels can work very well hand in hand if you know where you need to use them, how they work together. And this is one of the ways that you can really take a good monoprint and make it into a beautiful work of art.